Good evening, good evening. I don't know who need to hear this, but whatever you going through, whatever's happening, what's going on, fear not, man. Because with Jesus, ain't no need to trip. You know, people talk about doing things scared. And I say that because, man, when you out here, this world, it get wicked out here. It's very wicked. People do some very, very bad things sometimes, and stuff happens. But you start going through stuff and you seeing things happen, you gotta look at it like, man, am I gonna choose to move in faith, or am I gonna choose to move with fear? And if you're talking about trying to progress, trying to get to where you're going, and really ultimately achieve the peace and satisfaction and contentment that God has established and set for us, you have to move with faith and ultimately really take everything with a grain of salt and everything with the understanding that it's gonna get better. And you know, people don't really understand that at times. They do, but I think until you're really in that fire, like you don't really know what operating out of faith versus fear is. Like you think it's a lot of people, you know, think it's just doing something, you know, outside of your comfort zone. But when you start really experimenting and doing different things that you feel like pique your interest, you realize that, dog, you do something new and you quote unquote it's outside of your comfort zone, you're like, actually, I'm very much comfortable in this situation. Like, wow, God, like, and you start realizing in this world with God, there ain't no comfort zone. It's His zone. It's wherever He have you at, wherever He wants you to be, wherever you feel like He taking you to go. So anything that you're doing, do it out of faith. Like, stop moving and saying it's with faith, but you still hesitant. You still questioning what's gonna happen. It's all right to be a little nervous, but it's not okay to be doubtful, right? To be so fearful, saying that you're moving in faith, yet you still doubtful in what's gonna happen. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. You'll start realizing the world they don't care about you. The world is a place that you cannot love, as the Bible says. So those who love the world, the love of the Father is not in him, meaning there are bad things in the world. There are pleasures, desires, lustful things of the heart, greed, all of this. People that possess these things in human flesh, it is very much sinful. So with that, you have to understand that there is going to be bad things that happen to you if you on that walk. And it's a thing that I think once you in that fire, us as humans, man, we really get tested with that. Like, hey, is it faithful versus fear? And we be like, yeah, we're moving out of faith. But really, you know, when you really in it, and you start really digging deep into it, you like, it actually some fear still there. It's actually a whole lot of fear still there, actually. So I'm just encouraging you all, man, anybody, heck, I'm talking to myself, keep that in perspective. It's faith over fear. Because when you win stuff, like I was saying, you got to think about it. God ain't promised that it won't get worse before it get better. He just promised that it's going to get better. And when you realize that, you move understanding that better is waiting. So I had that confidence as well as that posture that whatever's coming, I'm 10 toes. It don't matter what's going to happen. It don't matter what is happening. It don't matter if I'm in some fire right now. It don't matter if I'm on a mountain right now. Because the waves going to come Ups and downs gonna come, but when you in a situation, you always gotta keep that in perspective. If it's bad right now, and it seemed like it's lasting for a minute, you in a quote unquote trial, a tribulation, a situation, it always get worse before it get better. But the promise is that it gets better. Stay focused on the promise. Peace.